let's wrap it up this way, and then we'll get to our final super chat. So I've been largely positive with Kyle this year. I think everyone kind of agrees he's doing the best he's ever done. It's early in the season, but he's doing some of the best work he's ever done.
Yes.
That being said, there still are things to critique, like his run game, like the lack of, like his personnel usage. And then there's the little details which have eluded him at times in his career. There was the rule in overtime in the Super Bowl. That's a sore spot. And then there was this 10 men on the field when Fred Warner broke his ankle. It's unfortunate to feel like that particular injury could have been prevented maybe. So if you don't know what happened, I haven't talked about it much on my channel this week. When Fred Warner went down against the Bucks, if you go back and watch the tape, there was no defensive end on the field. There were 3 D linemen. There was no D end on Warner's side. They run to that side. Tristan Wirfs gets pretty much a free run at Fred Warner, who's caught on his heels. And, well, you know what happens next. We asked Kyle about it. We asked Sal about it. They both said, they just didn't see it. And it can't happen. It's on them. What do you think?
It's unfortunate. What I don't want to do is lean in as if, I have not been a part of mistakes myself.
Mm-hmm.
So having 10 men on the field, do we know that if Gibson would have been on the field, that would have directly helped Fred without sustaining that injury? We don't know. We don't know. We're not here to allude to that. Right. But what we are here to talk about is when you lose an asset as valuable as Fred Warner, and you go back and you do an audit of what was going on, you kind of open the black box of the situation, if you will, and you see mistakes that are common denominators on how we failed in the past, it doesn't make you feel good. It's, to be honest with you, the quote that comes to mind is just more of the same, and what really is frustrating is if you look at the little blunders that turn into big catastrophes that turn into lost seasons, we start seeing things that are just like, oh, that doesn't matter. These small things don't matter. But you start looking at what are the small things that kept us from Brock Purdy's injury, hurting his elbow? What are the small things that we missed from blowing leads in the Super Bowl, or Trey Lance's injury, right, where he hurt his ankle and we're running him in between the tackles, or not blocking correctly for Brock Purdy and Kyle saying, oh, well, he missed the drop, instead of just understanding, like, why are you blocking Hassan Reddick with what tight end was that at the time?
Tyler Croft or something.
Tyler Croft,
I don't even remember his name.
Yeah. And really what it shows is just more of the same, Grant. Why is the team so remarkably hurt all the time? Guys don't get enough rest. We've heard people that left this organization to talk about the rest rate of what they get. I believe Raheem Mostert talked about it. And at that time, he got killed for coming out about how the Niners really rush players back. They don't give you the time to make real rest. And you look at things like special teams, Kyle doesn't prioritize it. Offensive line, they don't prioritize it. 2-minute drill, they don't prioritize it. So it hurts because I don't know how you feel. I know you're not a fan of the team, but there was a definite mood shift when Fred went down. It was unfortunate.
To me, this is like, we're being nice and polite, but like, this is inexcusable. 10 men on the field. I mean, it happens sometimes, but like, Chris Kasarik should have known as soon as it happened. Salah should have seen it. Kyle should have seen it. They should have called timeout.
It's a timeout blunder. It is.
Yeah, it was first half. I mean, you didn't need that timeout. To me, this is the kind of thing that most coaches would spot.
You see it right away. You do.
Right away. And so why did they not see it? Maybe it was just one of those things. But I think of the Niners as, I've always thought of them under Kyle, as a team without a head coach. They're a team with play callers. Great ones. But this is the kind of thing a head coach would spot. It's his job. I'm watching the game. I'm dialed in. But with Kyle, he's thinking about the next series. He's an offensive coordinator too, and he's so good at that. So I'm not surprised that they miss little details like this because they don't really have someone whose main job is to find stuff like this, is to watch stuff like this. So that's why I think, and he would never do it, but I think the next step for Kyle is to give up play calling and to really show that your main job as head coach. Like you could have made Mike McDaniel the play caller. You could have made Clint Kubiak the play caller. He's doing a great job in Seattle. He would have been great. He knows your system. You had him here. And then Andy Reid doesn't call plays anymore. And he's great. He's one of the best of all time. I think Kyle, man, you're great at it and you're better than Clay Kubiak, but someone needs to be on top of this stuff because like they're little things that ruin seasons. So that's my spiel for Kyle. You got to give up play calling eventually, man. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code COHN, COHN, and download the app now.
Yeah, and he's got to find a zeal for leadership because that's exactly what being a head coach is. Head coaches coach coaches. And, if Kyle continuously wants to, I've watched games and you're right. He doesn't pay attention to the game. Like when the defense is on, when we were really good, Kyle would barely watch the defense. It was so disrespectful. I'm being honest. Like as a coach, it's like, I get that you're the OC, but you don't know what the hell's going on, bro. You're not even looking. And times where like the defense is on the field and like Kyle's walking down the sideline, just by himself in his own thoughts. Like, he's just not in the drive. Yeah, he's just not engaged, to be honest with you, with the game, right? And it is something where I do feel like that is the next stage for him where he if you're really an expert, then you should be able to teach what you know, right? Not be able to just imply what you know, but teach what you know. Yeah. We need to find the next guy that Kyle can teach to take over this offense so he can truly get to the business of running this team.
He has an offensive coordinator. His name is Clay Kubiak. His older brother is doing a great job in Seattle. He's given him a couple of games to call plays. I'm not saying that Clay's better at this than Kyle, because of course he's not. Right. But someone needs to be the head coach, and it's not going to be Clay Kubiak. So something to think about, Kyle. Gabe Owens says, Grant, can you please ask when they traded for Robinson just to not use him?
We call that.
Yeah. Dazza says, can Niners throw screens to CMC or put him in motion? Also, with Kittle coming back, will Tondres and Kittle be on the field together? It'd be disappointing if Tondres gets buried so they can keep playing Juice.
Or Farrell.
Or Farrell. Official B&A Music 88 says, bring back Super Bowl champ Richie James, Revenge 5.0. X-Man 2 says, I think it's fair to say with Kittle back on the field, defenses will anticipate the play action, which will allow the run game to be more effective. It's a good point. It's all linked. All-Star Luna says, do you think Brown's sloppy tackling and wild diving at players was the reason for Fred injury? Looked like it to me.
I don't like Jair's play style. He's very erratic. He plays wild. And yes, I did notice that, but he can't help that. He's just playing at 100%.
Again, he's trying to fly across the field and make a play for a defense that had 10 men on the field. So I wouldn't fault the guy for being around the action. Happens. Yeah. Vermilion Sports Report says Mac joins Jimmy and Brock saving Kyle's job. Same O-line. Mac to save Kyle. Nivix Media says Niners are a passing team with Mac, but not Brock. They're a passing team with whoever the quarterback is this year because they can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball.
And on that note, practice starts in a few minutes. I got to run out there and see if Ricky's going to play.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Dominic shows up.
There. Let's see who shows up. Coach, great stuff as always, man. This is a great show.
This is a good one, man.
See you guys.